Assalamu alaikum, dear students. We have discussed earlier histograms of equal class intervals. Now we will discuss histograms of unequal class intervals. See, a histogram of unequal class interval is the one which is based on the data with unequal class intervals. When the data class intervals are unequal, width of the rectangles would be different. The width of the rectangles would increase or decrease depending upon the increase or decrease in the size of the class intervals. Now, before presenting the data in the form of graphs, frequencies of unequal class intervals are adjusted. First, we notice a class of the small intervals. Other classes are noted in the increasing order of their class intervals. If the size of the one class interval is twice the smallest size of the series, the frequency of that class is divided by 2. Likewise, if the size of the class interval is 3 times the size of the smallest class interval in the series, the frequency of that class is divided by 3, and so on. So adjustment factor for any class is equal to class interval of the concerned class divided by lower class interval. Now, to illustrate this, suppose the class with the smallest interval is 5 to 10 and the class with the largest interval is 10 to 20, the frequency of which is 12. Here the class interval of the bigger class is 10, which is twice as much as the size of the class interval of the smallest class, that's 5. The bigger class interval is divided by 2, then 15 and 15 to 20 is divided in two parts, 10 to 15 and 15 to 20, and accordingly the frequency of the bigger class 12 would be divided by 2, that is 12 divided by 2, that will be equal to 6. The divider 2 in this case is called adjustment factor. Now for illustration, present the following data in the form of a histogram. Now present the following data in the form of histogram. You see, in this frequency distribution, minimum class interval is 5, and 15, 15, 20 is 5. The class interval are other class interval are 10 and 20. Here, from 30 to 40 it's 10, from 40 to 60 it's 20, and 60 to 80 it's 20. And as before drawing the graph, frequency density should be calculated. It can be done by dividing the frequencies by an adjustment factor. Now this table is adjusted. Now this table is adjusted here. See, weekly wages is the 10 to 15, number of workers 7, adjustment factor is 5 by 5, that will equal to 1, right? And frequency density is 7 divided by 1, right? That will be equal to 7. Now here from 15 to 20, number of workers is 7, adjustment factor is 5 by 5, same here 1, and frequency density is 10 by 1, that will be equal to 10. Now here from 30, frequency wage here is 30 to 40, number of workers 12. Here the adjustment factor is 10 by 5, that will be equal to 2, and frequency density is 12 by 2, that will be equal to 6. So, and here again we can say from 40 to 60, adjustment factor is 20 here, difference is here 20 by 5, that will be equal to 4. So frequency density, adjustment factor is 20 by 5, 4, and frequency density is 12 divided by 4, that will be equal to 3. Now in this table The class interval for the first 4 is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5. Okay. However, is of the class interval of 10, that will be 40 minus 30, which is twice as much as the class interval of the first 4 classes, which is twice as much as the class interval of the first 4 classes. Accordingly, frequency of the 5th class is divided by 2. Further, the class interval of the 6th class is 20. That means 60 minus 40, that will be equal to 20, which is 4 times the minimum class interval of 5. Accordingly, frequency of this class is divided by 4. So frequency of this class is divided by 4. Likewise, the frequency of the other classes have been adjusted. So it's based on this table that the histogram is drawn. You can see here that the number of workers corresponding to different range of weekly wages. This is the histogram of unequal class intervals. Here y-axis shows the number of workers and x-axis shows weekly wages. You can see here the histogram from 10 to 15 it is 7. It is 7, and 15 to 20 it's 10. 20 to 25 it is 27, and sorry, from 20 to 25 it's yes, it's from 20 to 25 it's 27, from 25 to 30 it's 15, from 30 to 40 it's 6, from 40 to 60 it's 3, and from 60 to 80 it is 2. So this is the histogram of unequal class intervals. Now we have discussed so far histogram, that the histogram of frequency distribution are of 2 types: histogram of equal class intervals, and today we discuss histogram of unequal class intervals. Thank you very much.